Welcome, guys, gals, ghouls, friends, fiends, foes. Anyone out there who may be listening beyond the Omniverse tonight, welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high, get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, July 29th, Sunday, July 30th for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to, as I said before, We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. We are broadcasting live from a Mile High Clubhouse tonight. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and I'm so glad that you could join us this evening or morning, whatever time it may be there for you. If you're listening to us live right now, you may be listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find at kpnl-db.com. So put KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com. You can also find us live on eTalk Radio, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio. If you'd like to watch, you can watch us on Facebook under Tessa Nicole Thomas Peterson. We're also live on YouTube as well as Twitch. If you want to listen to us in your free time, whether you're working it or working out, look us up under We Are Paradox Media at Spreaker, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Facebook, CastBox, Tumblr, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podcast Chaser, Podvine. I think I said Deezer, I'm not sure. But I found a few more because last week I looked at all our stats and stuff. We are also on Podbean at altel.com. GeoSarn. I don't even know what that is. It's JIOSAARN. And then there's another place called VLC. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't know about those. That's not a part of anything that I've put it out there. So maybe somebody else put it out there for me. But that's pretty cool. So you can find us basically on any outlet that you like to listen to. If you don't mind, mosey on over to our YouTube channel under We Are Paradox Media. Give us a like on any video that you've watched or listened to. Please subscribe and leave us any comments, whether good or bad. Also, let us know what guests you'd like us to have on in the future. We would love to hear it. I will try my darndest to get it going. Oh, hey, we got some more peeps in. So tonight we are doing the Paradox Paranormal Forum. We have Mr. Robert White, who is clear on the other side of the planet. How's it going, Robert?
Going pretty good. Just muting myself because of the birds outside. So if it shows I'm muted, that's why.
All right.
You might be able to hear the crows at the moment. And
they're everywhere. I was trying to feed some cheddar sun chips the other day, and he just kept eyeing me suspiciously and wouldn't come over and get it. But yeah, the smaller birds came over. And then we also have Mr. Travis Willier Moostoos. Welcome, Travis. Thanks for joining us. And Travis is from the region of Canada, Alberta, Canada. How you doing, Travis?
Doing good. Thanks for having me again. It's great to be here. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Awesome.
So glad you're here. I just got the artwork that you sent, and I've been waiting till you were here, till I opened it. So I'm pretty excited to see what's inside the package. Woo! I really love the UFO on the front. Even the kids were like, Mom, look, there's a UFO. It's kind of like when we're in the front yard and they spot one, but it's on a piece of artwork this time. And then we have the lovely, beautiful, and talented Miss Mia Savage. Welcome, Mia.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Hello. Good. Missing you and feeling bad for you. Are you melting down there or what?
Oh, yes, it's just dreadful. We had my AC went out yesterday, but it's fixed now. But
Oh,
I had about 24 hours of 91 degrees in my house, and it could not. The air conditioner guy came, and then it didn't quite get it, and then I had to come back, and I about lost it. I lost one night of my beauty rest, but I'm okay now. So, yeah. So it's hot, but we're getting a little bit of monsoon weather. So I'm hopeful. I think Tucson got pounded. Tucson, I think I read it was 107 degrees, maybe 108, and it started hailing. Like, I mean, it makes no
wow.
sense.
Yeah,
Like,
how? It should have turned to rain by
that's
the time it hit the ground.
no, I know because it was coming down so hard and the sun was going down or it had just gone down and it's a monsoon. So it was like way up there. The clouds are very high and they come lower and I don't know. I'm not, yeah. Anyway, I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure that that's what happened is it looked like from the video that I saw that it just like collected it was in the sky and then just like all at once in one area just came crashing to the ground like God was angry at that area or something. I'm not sure.
Or maybe he was pleased with them and he's like, here, have some coolant from the heavens.
Actually, you're right. It must have been all the good people in Tucson that got to
Right?
experience
All
that,
the
or in
prayers
Arizona,
and, yeah,
right?
rain dances
A
and
lot of
stuff.
churches there in that area. No, I don't know, but probably.
So where are you?
Or
Because
native.
like from what
Oh,
I've been hearing, that's what I was going to say. Indigenous people doing like rain dances, or come on, cool it down. I keep telling Floyd, go out to the front yard and do a rain dance for us because we need some rain. It finally did a little bit today, but it's supposed to do it all weekend, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear it on the tin roof. But yeah, I heard in Phoenix it's been over 115 since 4th of July. So are you like on the outskirts or just in a
I'm in
cooler
the
area?
outskirts, but it depends on what type of day. I clocked it at I think it was one day. I think it clocked it at like 117 or 118. Yeah, but I mean that was like one time of one portion of the day. But yes, I'm not in Phoenix, but I am in the desert, so it's kind of weird here because it's usually much like maybe 7 degrees cooler, 8 degrees cooler than like Phoenix.
Yeah, are you like in a like valley area or near water
I
or
Yeah,
trying to
there
figure
is
out?
there's water at like I'm on the northeast side of the valley. So Phoenix is west southwest of here. I mean, I think
Mm,
Phoenix goes all the way. It's big. So like I would say Central Phoenix is further south and west to here, but we didn't but the monsoon Tucson is way southwest from here and way south and south of the border and they're the ones that got the monsoon but they need it the most. I'm sure it's probably even hotter in Tucson than it is even in Phoenix, I would guess. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, it's weird how it's like
good for
warping
them.
and wrapping around. I have a map that I'll share with you guys that I, took a screenshot of, but it's showing like Colorado and how it goes like this and then it goes whoop right around where we're at and then it goes over and then up. So it's pretty weird. That's been happening for years past too, as far as rain. Like the rain will go right around us sometimes. So it could be because we're in this sort of bowl. So maybe
The
that's why it's
plata,
called
the plateau.
La Platas. La
La
Platas.
Plateau, La Platas. Yes, but yeah, I know it's there. It's weird there because it's like the rain and the snow, and then there's a vortex right over Bayfield. That kind of seems to like
Well, that
Ignacio
makes
will
no
get it, and then
sense.
Durango. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's monsooning down there because that means it should be coming up this direction just to go like that. No, hopefully we get some rain because all the grass I worked hard to like whoop all the way around me. Maybe I should put down my protective bubble, Robert. I don't know. um,
Rain,
please, just do it.
rain, please.
But I was wondering because with the heat comes like massive updrafts and stuff. Are you at the point of like pilots training that you're flying at all? Do you feel any of that? Or I'm not sure if you're even flying at this point.
Yes. So I had one flight last week that was at 6 a.m. And from where I'm at to the school, I had to wake up at like 4:44 because I like even numbers.
You should have
So
done 420. That would have been better.
well, that's way, I
I would have.
mean, yes. But when you it's hard because my body, especially in the summertime here, I become super nocturnal. Everyone does because it's like our winter here. So, yeah, so I that would have been nice. To 4 would have been great. That would give me enough time to do like whatever in the morning, being there at 6 because it takes at least 33 to 35 minutes to get there, at least. And I'm not a I'm a slow riser in the morning. Like it's kind of funny, but so anyway, so at 6 a.m. is really really nice. The air is extremely clear. It's nice and cool. The plane that I'm training with, it obviously doesn't well, not obviously, but it doesn't have air conditioner. So, but once you're up in the air, it's great. You got air circulation. It's wonderful. But in the morning like that, the air is really nice and clear, and stuff. But if I wait later, which most of my flights are later than that, usually they're like around 9. And so at 9 a.m., you're baking. So I do my pre-flight and I check everything and I'm baking hot and then it's really, really hot and just like sweating my butt crack. And then we, once we get in the air though, we're okay. But there's usually like a ton of turbulence later in the morning and
Mhm.
air pockets, everything else. And so, so one day I did all my maneuvers and it was really, really good. Literally the next day, because my flight was at 9 instead of 6, it was like we were doing stalls and almost put us into a little bit of a spin, but it was okay.
No.
Um, well, like I need to learn how to get out of it. I did. I learned how to get out of it, so that's good because your instinct is you want to pull up, right? If you're
Mhm.
headed
You don't know
down,
which
you want
direction you're going.
well, if you're headed down, the first instinct is to pull up and go up, but that doesn't work. It makes it worse. So I learned you actually push down more and then use the
Oh,
opposite rudder. So now I know how to kind of break out of it, but it was just like totally like 100% night and day because the day before there was just clear air, and so I did the stalls and it was like nothing. But I yeah, so also there's a lot of mountains where the practice area is, so there it can be kind of windy there too, like depending on which mountain or which practice area or which part of the valley, but and what time. But yeah. Um, so that was that. It was fun.
yeah. I'm proud of you, and I can't wait to get your wings and stuff. That's gonna be awesome.
Ah, it I
I'm willing
it's
to
it's
miss
like
you
gonna be like a
longer
never
just so you can
ending
get that.
it's gonna be a never ending process though. Like this is just
Okay, well then I don't
private.
support you. You should come back immediately.
I know, right? Like I'm like it's like a marriage that I just like an arranged marriage is what it feels like. Honestly, it's like a business marriage. Like that's what it feels like flying. But I absolutely love it. I do love it. It's just like it feels like it will never end. Like the education and that's why like you either like it or you don't kind of type of thing. Like you're
Yeah,
either like an
Travis said,
aviator or you're not. I don't know.
yeah. Travis, you can
I'm
say
glad
what
that
you said.
I think I am. I think I am. I don't know.
You're saying hearing that story, I would have needed some new pants. Me too. I'd be trying to bail out with my parachute already.
No,
I'm going
if I
down.
what had happened way earlier on or like at a time where I hadn't really flown yet, like if it was like a demonstration of somebody else that just happened to be along with or something, like prior to knowing how to operate things, I probably would have been freaking out, like, but fortunately, I was just mad, like, I was just like, "Damn," like, "Let me do it again," like, it was not it was but yeah, yeah, I feel you, like, it would've freaked me out. It wasn't super bad, really, like, I mean, if you're looking if you were looking from the outside of the plane, it probably wouldn't have looked like much, just like a slight like thing.
Oh, being
But from
inside
the
of it.
inside, yeah, on the inside, yeah, like it, yeah. If I wasn't in the cockpit and I knew what the instruments did, like I would have kind of been like, "Whoa, what are we doing? We're going down?" Like, what's happening? Yeah, totally.
No. Well,
It's like it's so
yeah,
nice till it's not. It's really, really, really fun and nice and easy and relaxing till it's not. And like I feel like I can resonate with that in my life at the same time. Like it's like really, really calm, and then it's like life or death, you know? Like it's kind of like
we're all
extreme.
gonna die.
Yeah. Hopefully not. And then I
No,
thought, you know, if I was gonna go, like that wouldn't be a bad way to go. I'm not saying that they would be intentional at all, but
be pretty
like
fast. You know, like a bug hitting the windshield or something. Mm.
yeah, I mean, as compared to like a car crash or something, like that'd be cool. Like that'd be not a terrible way to go. I don't know. Just
Like,
saying.
what's the last thing that goes to the bug's mind? It's ass.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's wild. Yeah, no, that's intense. Yeah. So yeah, you're doing helicopter training. That's
no,
wild.
no, no, no. This is planes. But it's
Oh.
so weird. No, you read my mind, Travis, because I was just thinking now helicopters, now that's fast. Because as soon as that rotor is no longer rotating, like
Yeah.
you're gonna go straight down. Like at least with a plane, there's glide, you know, like
Right.
it's pretty nice. We do
Yeah.
a lot of little like emergency simulation stuff, like different types of emergencies and stuff. And like honestly, I'm not afraid of them now. Like if it really did happen, like they even have like protocols for like different types of fires, like fire on the wing, fire, electrical
Yeah.
fire, all this stuff. But at least it's going to glide for a certain amount of time. You're going to go down, but you're not going to go straight down. Like with a helicopter, you're done. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
like, "Beep."
yep,
Yeah,
bye.
the plane makes it more reasonable. Yes. I agree with that for sure.
You might have a chance. That's why people survive plane crashes and not helicopter crashes.
That's true. So being up in the
LeBron,
air, LeBron James, I heard
wasn't
a
that a helicopter?
conspiracy about that. It was.
Dang it.
It was a helicopter. Well, I heard a conspiracy that it was basically the pharmaceutical companies that came after him, just like pharmaceutical companies came after so many different people before him. Trying to remember the name of what he was upset about. Black Mamba. So they came out with a thing called Black Mamba, and it had different stuff in it that it shouldn't have. I don't know if that was his nickname or something. I'm really not big into sports. But supposedly, I just recently heard that um, it was because the pharmaceutical company, just like with Princess Diana. You know, everybody's thinking the queen, like that was my first thought. It was the queen. The queen couldn't stand her, whatever. But it was, I believe, the pharmaceutical companies. After talking to my friend Stephen B. Vaney, who wrote the book on that, but it's pretty scary. You don't mess with those guys. They make so much money off of us. You know, there's a cure out there for cancer, but guess what? They're making way more money charging us for it, doing all the chemotherapy and all the stuff we don't even have to do.
If you have like a public platform and you actively speak about anything, that's why when you have that's why like, you know, like fame and all that stuff, it's kind of it's really a curse. Like, you know, you're surrounded by people that want this persona of you, but they don't really know who you are. They want something from you. They're like, you're just surrounded by vampires, just like Corey Feldman said. Like, well, he was talking about pedos, but that's a whole nother deal. But like you're surrounded by vampires who like you know, like they don't even really know you. They just want what you can bring, or to be seen with you, or whatever it is, or to like, you know, get. It's weird. And then, but if he said one thing publicly about any type of vaccine, about anything, that would be it. Or any type of, not vaccine necessarily, I shouldn't even say vaccine. If he said one thing publicly about anything, like they're targets. Like you can't speak your own opinion. You have to say what they tell you, what your publicists, what your keepers, what your handlers tell you to say about everything. Like puppets, even our politicians,
Yeah.
like they don't have opinions. They do. I would actually be. I really wonder what like some of our politicians and stuff like what their real opinions are on things because they're just actors, most of them anyway. In a way.
Yeah, once you're in office or whatever power space you're in, you have no like opinion of your own, basically. Some, very few do, but for the most part, like you said, it's like a puppeteer thing, Illuminati, all this other crap that goes into it with all these artists or athletes or whatnot. Like me and you and people like that that have our own little small thing going on, we're bothersome, but it's kind of like a gnat flying around. But when
Well, we
it's a
keep
bigger
it
star
real.
that has a
No,
yeah,
we
but
just
with a
have
bigger
mass
star,
psychosis. We all have mass
yes,
psychosis. We all just happen to believe the
I'm
same delusions. That's what it is.
yes, I'm psychic. No, I mean
That may or
psycho.
may not be reality. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Going back to Robert, because I want to do a full circle. Robert, what's been going on in your neck of the woods? Anything paranormal, UFO? Otherwise, has mom come to visit at all?
I think she's still around in the house, like in the lounge room where she used to sit and watch TV. I've had that sort of feeling every now and then when I go out there late at night, turn the lights off and everything. But just recently, you're talking about the helicopters. One went down on the 26th, a few days back,
Oh,
out
wow.
near. It was with the military, the MRH-90 Taipan. It's part of the Talisman Sabre exercising that they have. It crashed out somewhere between Hamilton Island and Lindeman Island, and they're still doing searches. And they found some wreckage. When was it? Yesterday, day before yesterday, I think it was. So yeah, 4 people in that they think are dead. So, but yeah, other than that, not much. The tank got tank that happened. That yeah. Say that again. One of the expensive military tanks that were coming in for the same exercise here burned out last week. I told you about that one, and or last week, last month. No, it was this month. Yeah, it was only recently.
Yeah,
But yeah, it caught fire and got burnt out. So there goes $1 million odd worth of equipment from the US. So yeah, the MHR 90s are actually ours, so like Australia's. So they've been plagued with problems. They've had about 7 or 8 other accidents over the years, and so now hopefully they'll take a look at it and try and fix what's wrong. I got
right?
a friend. I have a friend that's from here that actually works at, or he did work at as a aircraft mechanic, and he was fixing those things as well. So that was when I met him again at the high school reunion that I went to earlier this month. So yeah,
Oh, you went to one? Me and my friend,
yeah,
the girl I caretake for, we were talking about that. I'm like, I didn't go to my high school reunion because it was popular girls that were mean to me that invited me, and I only saw them. And I was like, I really don't want to go. Like, if there was other people that I got along with or look forward to seeing, I might have gone. But maybe,
yeah,
10 years from then.
yeah. There were a few people that weren't going to it because of that exact reason as well. They were bullied at school, and yeah, I decided, yeah, I missed the other one because I wasn't in town for that one, so I went to this one. Yeah, lots of memories brought up, dredged up, and the place that we went to for the meeting that's the place that has about 11 ghosts in it. So I was in my element that night. Yeah, the Criterion in Rockhampton next to the riverbank.
Nice.
Haunted as shit.
Yeah, sounds fun. But no UFOs or anything because they've been everywhere. Oh man. All right.
Well,
Travis. Oh, go ahead, Robert.
I was going to say, just yesterday I was doing a live, like a call chat type thing on video, and the person I was talking to said that they thought they saw a UFO above me because I was outside on the
Oh,
driveway out
yeah.
there. So I looked up, but I couldn't really see much. So yeah, possibly.
I wonder if it's the way, like your camera, because our eyes, animals' eyes, cameras,
They're different.
vision, it's all different. Yeah, so maybe they could see it, but you couldn't see it with your eye. Did you try
Yeah,
it with a camera, or did you try just looking at it?
I tried both, but with the
Oh, okay.
camera on the phone, it came through with a purple sort of tinge around the area, like up in the clouds. But when I looked
Mhm.
at it, it was just blue.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's kind of the hue that the moon was giving off on the clouds and stuff that night that I got all those spacecraft, like, just
Hmm.
weirdly spaced in the sky and in formations, like, doing the same thing at the same time, but yeah, there's that weird blue tinge. You said it looked blue, but to the camera it looked purple.
Yeah.
Hmm, that's interesting.
Project Blue Beam, perhaps.
I know, that's what they
I'm
say.
just kidding.
That's not really UFOs. Now it's Project Bluebeam. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, seriously, I know what I saw. And they ain't gonna be out here in Bayfield,
No.
Baytucky.
I don't really know if there's a blue beam or not, but obviously, the 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 documents, what is it, the release of these, UFO files and everything. It There's a lot of jokes about it being a diversion and things like that, but
Because
everything
Joe
is so
Biden's
complicated.
yeah.
We're supposed to be confused. This is the whole point. We have seen legitimate UFOs. I have seen legitimate interdimensional beings and things in my life that you can't convince me otherwise. You can convince me that certain things, but like that they it happened, like period. Like you could convince me maybe there was like a portal or a dimension or like something quantum physics, like scientifically, like I saw aliens because there was, I don't know, like a glitch in the literal matrix or whatever. um but like, you have to wonder how much, if there is like a diversion, or how much of a diversion, or how many people really, really, really. It seems like less and less people are surprised as time moves on. At
Because
the
we've all mostly a lot of us have seen it, like so many of us. One of my in-laws, her husband just recently died of cancer, and I believe it was because of their UFO witnessing. Like they were at a house, I believe it was in Utah, and she saw it and she was going towards the glass sliding door, but he pushed her back. He's like, no, stay back. And he went and he stuck his head out. Then he got cancer, around his head area. And he didn't have any memory of anything that happened. She had to relate to him back what had happened that night because he had no recollection of it. And then later on, he dies from cancer. I can't remember if it was skin cancer or cancer of the brain or something. But it was because he stuck his head out and looked up into the UFO where the light was beaming down, and she was held back by him, thank goodness. But yeah, it's still sad like that happens. Yeah,
But
there's
he
so
died
many
of
sightings.
cancer and he saw the UFO. So
Yeah, he stuck his head out and looked up into it.
here's a weird um I just wonder if this correlates, because I actually, like, I was watching like something like about, and we know this, like, that stress is like the number one cause of like disease in the body.
Besides the food
um
we eat here in America.
well, I mean, yeah, there are other things, but a lot of the food probably causes stress too, right? Like
Yeah,
sodium and MSG and things like that. But I'm wondering though, like, maybe the PTSD had stressed his body and made it form the cancer, because, like, given that like PTSD, I think the same with stress. PTSD, I think sometimes can be a blessing if you can work through it and then you're not afraid of anything and you can harness that rather than harnessing and going back. You can say, wow, well, literally nothing else can touch me. Or you can be like, it'll turn into anxiety and depression because you're traumatized and you don't feel like you can talk to anyone about it. So that might have correlated maybe with the cancer. Is that weird to say? Or
No, I'm thinking that could be true because stress is so toxic. It's like one of the most toxic things that you can deal with. Like you said, as far as being a human being, stress is really, really bad. Um, and I don't know, some people online are making jokes about, man, everybody these days has PTSD. Well, guess what? Our government has made it to everyone, wherever one of us has ADHD or ADD or whatever. But no, most of us have been through different types of trauma. And it is hard to, cycle it unless you get help or whatnot. I don't know. I'm paranoid about cancer because supposedly when my mom got her autopsy, they found like 4 different kinds of cancer. But luckily, I had no markers or anything. There was one anomaly. And they're like, as soon as we figure out what this anomaly is, we'll let you know. Um, but I don't know what the heck that's all about. I'm kind of thinking it's not anything about cancer. I think it's more of like sort of alien thing or something. Um, but yes, I think you're onto something with stress, PTSD. I don't know if you heard recently, like most of the people drinking water from their taps these days are getting the forever chemicals. So these certain chemicals that are coming from, I think it's the plastic pipes that everybody's using these days. And due to the
because
plastic, it's
copper is
putting these
too
chemicals.
expensive.
Yeah, just use the copper. Use what we did before. Not
And
all
actually
things.
has minerals that our bodies need that
Mhm.
not in small doses. Good stuff.
Right. Yeah. Let's not talk about that. We don't want to add to our PTSD.
Well,
No, but it's really happening right now.
here's something I found out that was I don't want to add to your PTSD, but
I'm just kidding. I was just teasing.
it's very fascinating that supposedly I had heard that there have been people for the last several years that had been people all under the age of 30 who have been legally euthanized in the Netherlands due to a bill that they passed who are autistic involuntarily euthanized because of autism. Like your kid comes out and they're autistic and you give them a few years and you're like, oh no, he's too far on the scale. I can't take it. And you can like there's a bill that was passed in the Netherlands to have them legally euthanized. I think they've only done like I think I read like 20 or so or some like it was under 100. I know that probably like 20 people if I recall that were being involuntarily euthanized for having autism. But now everyone in the United States, meanwhile, and other places, like I think everyone has a form of personally, I think everyone has a form of ADD, everyone has a form of autism, everyone has OCD. These are just parts of who these are just like parts of who we are, right? Like I think these are like symptoms of our environment. That's what I think. I think all of them are symptoms of our environment, and depending on what environment we're in, we can develop like all of these traits. But I do know that like, when a kid is super autistic, it's clear, but that means they're really good at something. Like you're
Yeah.
just gonna figure out what it is. But but yeah, like I mean, that's crazy. Like dogs.
Yeah.
I thought the Netherlands were cool, but apparently, I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I researched it. I looked on multiple things because I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no, no way, no way. And I looked, and it's on a
About
lot
dogs?
of. No, it's like dogs. Like they're euthanizing people for having autism under the age of 30 involuntarily. But it's a
Yeah, so
bill
if
that was
you euthanize
passed.
these people, it's not gonna spread autism, like, the autism gene won't pass down. I don't believe that's true.
No,
due to
I didn't believe it was true either. And then I looked and it's on so many, like, but it was like only like 20 within the past few years. But I don't know, few years. But I looked, it's on a lot of official, like reporting sites. I thought it was. I'm like, these people are reaching. There's no way that's true. So I'm like, okay, so it's on like ABC and it's like on all these other ones, like from the UK and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this can't be true. Again, you can't trust. Maybe people don't want. Maybe the Netherlands doesn't want people to move there, and so they could have just put this all out and been like, nope. If you're autistic and you move here,
you're a goner. You better stay away.
It seems to be true, though. I mean, media, social, or yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, that is so odd. Like, that to me is
I know,
crazy
right?
because to me, most autistic people I've met are okay. So there's a scale that goes from, not being very smart up to genius. And when you're on like the cusp, like right there, like you're genius, but you're like right on the cusp, you're super genius, but there's, some genome or something that went wrong. These people are brilliant. Like, my nephew's son was sitting there and he kept like using a deck of cards and making them fly everywhere. And then he'd pick them up, but he wouldn't pick up like closest to furthest away. He'd pick up like in a certain order. And I watched him and then I started watching the deck as it was flying out. And then I realized he's picking up by the numbers that came out at the point they came out. I was like, holy shnikes, this is like freaking Rain Man all over again. Like he's picking up in the order. He saw them fly out at that exceedingly high rate of speed. Like that to me was amazing. That's brilliant. Yes, they're not on the same realm
Ross
as us as far as like touch and speech or whatever the thing may be, but they're amazing, brilliant people.
Ross told me a story. It was just like that. Only it was the craziest story I've ever heard. Like he had a nephew and he went to, I don't know, he went to visit them or something, and the nephew took his keys out of the truck, threw them in the swamp. It wasn't really a swamp, but like threw them in like mud water pond, like a marsh. That's the word. I'm from the desert, so forgive me. We don't have water. So he throws them in the marsh, and Ross just gets so mad. Well, they disappeared is what happened. Is they completely disappeared, and Ross didn't see him throw them or anything. And I mean, he was just so mad. He like grabbed him by the hair. I mean, I probably would be too. And he's just like, "Give me my keys, right, to my truck." I mean, like, he's an old cowboy, so it's just the way that it works.
Yeah.
Or grabbed him by his arm. I don't know. Maybe by the arm. I wasn't like,
By the scruff.
call the cops abuse. Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Like if you have a kid, who knows? And he walks him way over to the marsh, steps out into the middle, reaches his hand down and pulls out the keys from the middle of the mud. Like deep in, like way in the middle, like just pulls them out. I mean, that's like it's some kind of genius, but he couldn't really talk. So it's like
He knew exactly where it was, and he was nonverbal, is what they call it.
nonverbal, exactly. Yeah, he was nonverbal. Like that's crazy. like it's kind of cool and fascinating because I'm a nerd, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how exactly do you do that?
You just figure out how to work those abilities, I feel like.
He's back. Oh my god, I think a bug just oh my gosh, I think it's a mug. Yes, a bug just dropped down my face. That was crazy.
No. Yeah, I
I
keep
thought
hitting the wrong button.
for a second, but it went down and like right here. Creeping me out. I'm just going to imagine it's one of those elm beetles and not a spider. Well, Travis, what's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, the UFOs are out, they're around. Nah. And I feel like all these like I checked out a bit of the conference, but I wasn't too impressed. I was just kind of like it was just all just meh. Yeah, we all of us already all knew this. Like, it's just them kind of I think what it is more or less just them getting their word on record because like the aliens and UFOs are going to come down whether they like it or not. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
about time too. I have high hopes about all that because like all those space stations and all those moons and everything out there, and all of our galaxy in in its vastness and unexplored territory, and just like all those areas, just like just waiting for us to be a part of, right? All those cities, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited about it. As in new UFOs flying around and stuff. It's actually just like I said, the smoke's clearing, so it's kind of nice to see the blue skies again and get a chance to see the stars and the UFOs flying around again. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. So yeah, but no, I've been just happy, being vindicated. I've lost, like, all right, I'm not gonna lie, like there's a lot of people that were kind of like on the fence about it because like I started, sharing like the UFO and the extraterrestrial truth and some of the cultural beliefs and truths, right, to that. And so I had a few people. Well, I'm just saying over time, like because I've been sharing it for quite some time now, but like over the time, I've had a lot of people that I lost that, I'm not mad at them at all either. Like, to everyone their own, right? But what it was though is like I've been having a lot of people come back and they're like, hey man, you were right. They're like, I was like, well, yeah, like it's just sad that you have to wait for the government to feed you that, before you believed it, but I'm happy they came around and like but it's like, they just now they're back around and it's kind of nice to have that again. But yeah, for a while there, like I said, there was a lot of that, right? People were always on the fence about things. And so it's kind of nice to, like I said, be a little vindicated about that and have those people come back around. And like I said, I was never mad at anyone. You know what I mean? I knew they were real. I knew it was all real.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me. Like, I don't know. Like, I always believed because my dad believed. And then 2012 is when I saw my first one in person. And I was like, yes, they truly do exist. And they're in different forms. They're not all the same shape. And then you look back at like India and other places that have this historical registry, basically. There's 400,000 plus different alien species. It's amazing. Kind of scary. Um, but hey, if you say we're okay, I have the same feeling. My daughter, my second oldest, she was watching like this whole, court thing going down. And like you said, I think they're doing it just so they have it on record because these are the same witnesses that have said this recently, time and time again on different venues and stuff. But this is at the Supreme Court level or whatnot. So it's going to be on record under governmental status instead of being hearsay or, just this person saying it on a television show. But yeah, she watched that all day and then we went to the park and had pizza at the park and she's watching this and then she's like, basically there's nothing we can do to protect ourselves from them. We're fucked. And I don't think of it that way because I don't really get that feeling. I know people have had not so good experiences with some of them, but I think there are those of them out there that are protecting us that are more powerful than those that are not. So I'm not really worried. Like, I have a feeling we're going to be okay to a certain extent. There's stuff we're going to have to deal with humans, which scare the shit out of me more than aliens or ghosts or anything like that. I don't know. I feel like we're going to be okay. Those of us in the know. And then there's the sheeple, and then there's all the other stuff. I don't like to use downgrading terms, but that's how it is. Like you said, these people that didn't believe you because it's you saying it, and then as soon as the government says it, they're like, hey, you were right. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't understand it because I'm not that type of person. I'm very open and I listen to my gut and my gut leads me. So I've known this stuff has been happening for a while. I don't know. Mia, what were you
I also
saying?
think like like from different cultures or different religions, different backgrounds, different experiences. I feel like it's really hard to. Some people actually do, like, they are just have that, like, independent thinking, like questioning, like thing within them, where they will go look for things and maybe find things. But I think a lot of people, if you look at like the amount of population that hasn't looked or even thought about the possibility of them being there in the first place, if you haven't experienced it in some form, then it doesn't exist, kind of. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and so there's a
If
lot
I
of
don't
people just
see
who
it,
haven't experienced it. It doesn't exist. I'll believe it when I see it, but they're not looking for it either, right? These are the same people that are, they're not looking at the sky when they drive home from work. They're not, or maybe they are occasionally, or they just haven't had those experiences and have had no desire to experience those experiences. And so they kind of, that's totally like valid. Like, I wouldn't believe in a lot of this stuff if I wouldn't have like experienced it.
well, yeah, and so many times
Like
you and
in
I
some
have gone
form.
out not even looking for UFOs, like, it's after work and we're having a beer on the tailgate. What the hell is that? Or we're going out looking for ghosts, and then I look up in the sky. What the hell is that? Like, we saw a mothership, we saw those little, tic tac MFers, like so many different things you see when you're not expecting it. All you have to do is look up. That's pretty intriguing to me. I'm
Yeah.
just blown
And so
away.
I understand it, but you can't like I know people also though that like haven't really experienced anything firsthand, but they're open to it. And they actually think that, okay, what are the chances that we're the only life in this, not only this universe, but every other universe that exists. And there's multiple. So like that is like the most improbable thing. Like, why would we be the only like planet with living organisms on it? Like, just because the ones close to us don't, like that doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense.
So many galaxies, so many planets, so many Earth planets. There's gotta be something on there. We're still even finding things on the bottom of our ocean, things that we look at and we're like, what the hell is that? It's pretty interesting. Like these blobs with
Exploded
how many
millionaires.
exploded gonads, is that what you said?
No, exploded millionaires.
Yes.
Mm.
Are you trying to get us on the radar, Robert? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, we just received a message. Shut them down. Shut them down quick. Boy, I don't know, but global warming is happening, so I'm kind of excited to see what's going to pop up in Antarctica, whether through the air or to the eyes. Is there really a pyramid up there? Is there a hole in the ground that goes to inner Earth? Hello, Mr. Kirkby. Mr. Kirkby's
All
awake.
the above.
Yes, I know. We're in for so many treats. We're just gonna be like, what the crack is going on? What's next? I don't know. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be scary for some people because you see how some people react when they see UFOs or whatever. They're like, "Ah," and running everywhere like chickens with their heads cut off. And then other people are like, holy shnikes, and playing with lasers and stuff and getting them to dart different directions. I recently was trying to buy a laser, and Walmart is all sold out online and in store. I think everybody's stocked up with their green lasers for pointing at UFOs. Then I realized I have like 3 in my paranormal packs out there. 3 green ones.
You guys are trying to blind the pilots?
Well, no, you don't even point directly at it. You point near it and it goes the other direction and then it points that way. But yeah, if it was an airplane, like I look out in the field and I
No,
can see the
I meant of the
green.
UFOs, the pilots of the UFOs. I don't know what they're
I'm
called.
pretty sure they have
I
shields
guess
for
they're
that.
Captain Terrestrials.
Captain Testicles.
There we go.
But I was just gonna
Alright.
say, yeah, no, yeah, the UFOs and stuff like that flying by, like, yeah, we're not allowed to do that in Canada for lasers and stuff like that. It's like there's laws against that, so we're not allowed to use lasers out here on planes and stuff. So don't be doing that out here.
Planes. And like I said, like when you look out in the field in our backyard here, you can tell what's a plane and what's a UFO. Planes
Very true.
fly all the time, and then there's UFOs that go, zigzag, or maybe they just sit there or whatever. If you blink at them,
Blink, blink.
yeah, people have blinked at them and they do certain things, and then when they're flying, they'll put the laser in front of where they're going, and then they'll go back the other way, and then they'll go around where the laser was pointing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. And they'll stop, or they'll chill out, or something like that. People have had that too.
Yeah, and that just proves that wasn't a satellite. That was an actual UFO, right? Because satellites will just keep going. A UFO will, maybe do something. So that was a new thing that I saw online recently that I'm like, hey, I want to try that. Try to buy one, but then
Is
I
that like
realized
the truckers?
Yeah, because if a UFO,
The
sorry,
truckers like honk your horn.
Oh yeah, dook dook.
Show me your laser.
I was just gonna say, because if there is a satellite that is stopped midair, that's kind of like something we should worry about. That's like that thing comes crashing down. That's like hell on earth kind of deal.
Yeah, or they come back for you instead of like going this way or that. They come towards you. Run away! Run away! Oh my gosh!
Let's
There's this
dump
weird thing flashing on the
waste
Facebook
on
screen.
them.
Sorry, what was that, Robert?
I said, quick, let's dump our waste on them. Fly by.
Fly by tooting different.
We know the human's weakness, their own garbage.
What are humans most afraid of? Feces.
Oh no. Yeah, but it's like you know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah. We see that they have landfills of this, it's like we see they can't deal with this on their own.
This is an offering. This is an offering to them because they have so much stockpiled. Oh my god, could you imagine?
Ooh,
Bring me
it could have
chocolate.
been the
not
hail in the
bread.
desert. Is it from Pluto, like a cold planet? That crazy hail that came down. That's just like that's their waste.
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
it could explain why the aliens always hover over the desert, because maybe they found all the bodies that the mafia's hidden out there. And it's
Right.
like, ooh, that's an idea.
There has to be.
And hello, Rick.
The desert is a mecca, and I don't know why.
Mecca.
But it could
Because
also be a
nobody
lot of
goes out there.
military.
Oh, I thought you were talking about bodies.
Exactly, but there's a lot of. Oh yeah, no, I was talking about for UFO sightings. Like, there's so many
Yeah.
in the desert in like those areas, but there's also a lot of hidden military bases and stuff. So I'm becoming more aware of that, just mentally, like getting
Yeah,
weird
and
downloads and stuff. So
old volcanoes and obsidian and crystals, all the such, quartz and all that found out there in the deserts, and you know what I mean. They got all that going, right? And a lot of gold and different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've all watched
and the
Star Wars,
interdimensional beings that live.
So they know that Darth Vader doesn't like sand.
In his China.
There you go.
What were you saying, Mia?
Yes, and then oh yeah, like supposedly the the reptiles of the desert that live underground in tunnels and stuff, and there are underground tunnels to for aliens no less, but like Earth aliens, like to and trafficking and such that they found in the desert between Four Corners areas and Texas
Ugh.
as well. Well, that's just one level. Who knows what's in the next level? Like, there's probably all kinds of underground stuff here.
Yeah, even for drugs,
Or not
and
here.
even like Vern,
Another, yeah.
his
That
dad
too.
had a truck. He used to be a trucker. He had a truck accident. After that, he was able to predict earthquakes and different things like that. And he used to douse, and he was able to find all kinds of memorabilia as far as Spanish and Native American wars, etc. He just knew things. It was pretty interesting. It's like the guy that, almost dies and then knows how to play piano. So he never played piano at all before. But it's pretty intriguing how that happens. All right, you guys, so we do have to go to our first music break. When we come back, I want to unwrap this package. I've been holding on to it for 2 days now, and it feels like 2 weeks. But yeah, Travis sent me some artwork, and I haven't seen it yet because I was waiting for him to be here for me to unearth it. So I'm gonna get it back. We'll be doing that. But on this break, we have Miss Michaelan Hay with Collapse, Close, Nothing But Blood, Devil You Know, and then we have Fred Johnson III, and he'll be singing Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break. See you back in like, let's see, 15 minutes.
This is relaxing.
I love Michaelan Hay. She's awesome.
Where would you go? You're running away. I know that it ain't easy. I see you're losing your mind. You're pushing away. Yeah, it's a mistake. Yeah, it's a making me check my phone to see if you called. I know I'll get nothing at all. I carry the weight of both you and me. I'm starting to break. I wish you could see what you're doing to me. What you do. Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Stop, 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 stop. When we always collapse. When we always collapse. Throw me off of my game again. Never thought I would bend. You're making me soft. Starting to slip. You don't give a shit. It's starting to hurt. I can't keep my grip. Yeah. Oh, I can see the end begin. I can see. Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Stop, 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 stop. Yeah, we're going too fast, 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 fast. Get your foot off the gas, 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 gas. Yeah, we're gonna crash. How is this gonna last when we always collapse? Stop, 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 stop. When we always collapse. Oh, I can see the end begin. When we always collapse. Oh, I can see the end begin. so surprised I worked out a smile. Out a smile. Cause I've grown and I've changed. Yeah, we went separate ways. How come we're both back here? Cause you pushed me away, had my life rearranged, but still we're both back here. Both back here. Close to me, I want you close to me. I can see that you wanted me. Follow me, baby, just follow me. Trust me, baby, get close to me. You know how to make me lose all control. All control. I should know when I need to let myself go. So let's go. Close to me, I want you close to me. I can see that you wanted me. Follow me, baby, just follow me. Trust me, baby, get close to me. I'm not the same. I'm not the same. I'm not the same person anymore. I'm not the same. I'm not the same. I'm not the same. I want you close to me. I want you close to me. I can see that you wanted me. Follow me, baby, just follow me. Trust me, baby, close to me. I want you close to me. I can see that you wanted me. Follow me, baby, just follow me. Trust me, baby, get close to me. There's too much sky, too blue, too white. The birds don't know why are singing, but I don't know why. Why aren't the roses hanging their heads? Standing straight up, blooming instead. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Why does that guy have a smile on his face? Why is the sun even shining today? Why are the headlines talking about love? Don't they all know what happened to us? Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. The moon goes up, the sun goes goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. Now that we're apart, there's nothing. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Blood in my heart. Blood in my heart. Your troubled heart bleeds like a river. It's rushing towards fields painted greener. It doesn't see the demons behind, praying you're getting close to the line, so they can get their hands on love and trade it off for silver. The curtain's nice, but what it hides is worse than sticks and stones. Before you climb the fence tonight, look through the microscope. Better the devil you know. 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 Your nervous spine is crawling with shivers. You're standing right in the eye of a blizzard. You're inches from a shelter, so near the warmth of a home and a chandelier, shining down its light on love, wishing you'd be closer. The curtain's nice, but what it hides is worse than sticks and stones. Before you climb the fence tonight, look through the microscope. Better the devil you know. 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 Before you climb the fence tonight, look through the microscope. Better the devil you know. Better the devil you know. Better the devil you know. Better the devil you know.
Waiting here on this cold, lonely night without you. The tension's overbearing. Wondering, are you coming back home again? To inspire fondness with love. Where did our love go wrong? My sugar. Why did I make you cry? Whispers flow through my mind when I think about you. That warm feeling in me. My heart sings a sad song and just melts away. Please look into my eyes, my sugar. There's life in out there. Until the sun doesn't shine anymore, I'll be there. When time is a memory, I'll know this love. You will always be the one, my sugar. The feeling is so strong. Waiting here on this cold, lonely night without you. Where did our love go wrong, my sugar?
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in Rockies. Tonight we have for you the Paradox Paranormal Forum, which we have Mr. Robert White from Australia, Mr. Travis Willier Moostoos from Alberta, Canada, and Miss Mia Savage from hot and sunny hell, Arizona. Welcome back, guys, and thanks so much for hanging out with me.
Dead on.
Seriously, like, my sister's down there, and I'm like, I don't even know how you're still alive. That to me is insane. It's not as bad as Death Valley, but it's
I
still
think
pretty
that
damn.
every day.
Yeah. At least it's not as bad as Death Valley. All right, so I have this lovely package. Look, there's a UFO by my name, PO Box 663. If anybody wants to send me anything, send it here. I'm so excited to wrap this or unwrap this because ever since it got here, even the kids are like, hey, like, open it now. And I'm like, no, I'm going to wait till Travis is here. And they're like, what's and they're not here. They're camping. It's Dave's birthday. Dave passed away this last year, Bryn's brother. But yeah, they're up camping. I love camping. I've been wanting to do it all summer, but I had to skip out. And I want to see. Super excited.
That was a beautiful UFO, by the way.
Oh,
I know. I'm
okay.
going to cut that out. I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to put it on my wall because, you know, hoarder status. Just kidding. Certain things are special to me. And I really like that. I was kind of worried. I was like, oh shit.
That
I
was
hope it
more
didn't
of a UFO than a UFO is.
Yeah, I've actually seen of that kind on YouTube recently. They're coming back in effect. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Ah, look.
Oh,
Whoa,
wow.
yes. It's awesome to
Firewater.
see it over there. I'm happy it made it. Woohoo! Yeah, awesome.
Fantastic.
You see the buffalo now?
I do. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Yes, he's right here.
Excellent.
Awesome. So yeah, say goodbye to the Beatles. Goodbye, Beatles. And Travis is gonna go up here with Dennis Dyke and my daughter Nova. all my artists that are up on my wall. Even Kareem DeWinter is up on my wall here on this side. So this will be my art wall. We'll have to say goodbye to Taz. Bye, Taz and the Beatles, and put this one up. I love this so much. Thank you, Travis. I'm so happy. I love this. Geez, so Pete, I wish like I could get like better footage of this. This is gorgeous.
Oh, I'm astounded
Guys-
at the angle that it's at. That's amazing.
Yeah, can you see the buffalo?
I think I need one.
Yeah, I
don't
see
Yeah.
it there.
I don't see the. Is it
So it's up in the
okay?
clouds.
So where?
It's like the silhouette of a buffalo is the clouds angle. Like you'll see it. It's a little. You can kind of make out the legs and then the head. You'll see it.
Yeah,
I'm
so you come up.
trying. I'm.
So no, it's right here. So here's the
Yeah.
nose, and
Yeah.
it goes up, and here's the
Yeah.
ear, here's the fluff, and it goes back from there, and then you see the legs and the stomach and the legs.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Here's
Yeah,
the
yeah. I
nose.
see it. I see it now. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
facing. Yeah, yeah. I can see it. That's awesome. I
Oh, I
love
love
it.
it. Me
It's
too.
very
I'm so
That's
subtle.
excited.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Thank you,
I want
Travis.
one.
You okay? So you and Travis need to link up, and he needs to
Yeah,
show
I
you
have
his
his
work 'cause he's
Facebook.
got so much.
I've seen some
Yeah.
amazing ones, but that one's like really, really cool. Yeah, I'll
Yes, this is
definitely.
my
I'm just not
favorite.
on Facebook that much to look at them. I see them on here only. So it's like they look awesome. Like the ones that like Travis, the ones that you kind of show that you're working on or that you've done and stuff. So yeah, yeah, I will check it out.
I'm
Oh,
trying to keep
definitely. I have tons of them. All sorts of truth and different little, pockets of information, I guess, that reside in them. And yeah, it's very unique because my niece walked into my house there recently and she's like, wow, it's like looking at history. And I was like, ha 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 ha. Ha. Little does she know, right? Like what she's, seeing all the, you know. But yeah, no, there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of the extraterrestrial truths and a lot of the paintings and it's kind of funny because like a lot of the UFO crafts that I've painted in them and over the years and stuff like have been confirmed now with that recent UFO conference and hearing and stuff like that. And even me too, like because like I've mentioned out there that I've seen the cube craft and like and I've seen them going by and documented it, whatever, right? And and so like a lot of that and but like also too like some of the other crafts that were confirmed over time and whatnot and yeah, so like if you ever do want to check it out, this you can hit up the Facebook page or yeah or just let me know.
Go ahead and, okay, so you also have the Facebook
Will
page.
do.
The other link is for your books, right? And not your art?
Yeah,
For your art.
it's for my it's for my books, the Royal Road. Yeah, I do have an Instagram, but it's under Assault Rifle Omen, but that's just like, I'm just sharing a lot of sketches and I do like it's mainly sketches, like not too much arts or like, painting. Like I do share paintings up there, but I haven't shared one recently. But I do more I share more paintings on Facebook than I do there, so
Well, I have a link for artwork, so I think you can actually like take a scan or take a picture of your artwork, and then they'll put it on to canvases for you and everything. So it takes down, the amount of money you would spend creating it and sending it, etc. But yeah, I'll look that up for you.
Right. Yes, for sure. It's just it's a wild one, so let me know.
Love it. That's amazing. Like, I don't know. I'm so excited because that was my favorite. And now I have to send you something. Regifting. Gotta send you a cool t-shirt or something. Or maybe a rock that I painted myself. No, but I finally found my camera. I had to clean it up a little bit because the mice have been everywhere. So there was some mice scatter on certain parts of it. And then the lens, it was a long lens, almost comparable to Robert's, because Robert, he's got a big lens. Mine wasn't okay, it was about this big. But I put it on there and it was just kept giving me this F thing. And come to find out, once I looked it up on the internet, it said it's because it was for a film camera and not digital. So now I have it together with a smaller lens that's digital because that's all I can afford right now. But super excited to take some pictures. Like, look at that lens. Yeah. Tell you what. Gorgeous. Yeah, that's a good lens. That's why you get those good pictures of the moon. I love that painting. That's like my second favorite. Because it reminds me of the rock formations here, like Castle Rock or Chimney Rock.
Yeah.
And then the teepees out there. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, he's got tons of paintings.
Yeah, you got a little portal there on the right there. Yeah, they're all exiting out of and flying over the teepees. Yeah, you're right. You do see a lot of the mountains in the background and silhouettes, like a late night, kind of painting. So it's
And that
cool.
UFO right there, that's up above the teepees reminds me of the one where Mary's holding the little baby Jesus, and there's looks like there's a war going on in the sky, but over here there's a UFO that is shaped that same way, but you see a little guy sitting inside that UFO, and it shows
you
remember that?
Yeah, and it looks like it's like an orb guy. Yeah, and he has long hair and he has a robe on and stuff. Yeah,
And that
that
UFO
picture, that painting always got me going. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, darn hippies.
I know. Even Jesus was a hippie. I love my brother Jesus. He's amazing.
Jesus was the man.
I'm telling you what, he's my favorite.
He kept the pools clean too.
Kept the what?
He kept the pools clean too.
Ew. My dad did that, but then
He
he had
turned
lung
those
issues.
pools into wine.
And he turned one fish into many.
Cool dude.
Yeah. I did hear an interesting story since we're talking about Jesus. But yeah, when he was a kid, before he knew better, the age of right and wrong, he's up on top of a barn or whatnot with his friend and had the urge, they talk about compulsive thoughts or whatever. He had the urge to push his friend, and he did. And his friend got pushed off the roof, and his friend died. And I think that was his very first resurrection, was his little friend that he didn't intend to kill. He just thought it'd be funny if he pushed him off to see what would happen. But yeah, that to me was a pretty cool story. LSD trip art cosmic. Hey, no, this ain't no LSD trip art. This is our friend, brother Travis Moostoos up there in Alberta, Canada, painting different things he's seen, whether in this realm or the other. But it would be kind of,
Try putting it.
I'm flattered by that. If it reaches that level of, people are like, whoa, by it, then that's, it's done its effect. It's had its it's lived its existence.
Mission accomplished.
Well, some people they use what do I say, conductors to channel things, whether that be LSD or other psychedelics or whatever it is that they use to be their conductor. I think you can,
Very
they talk
true.
about not everyone uses them and not everyone needs them. But some people they do use, I forget what they're called. They're not called conductors. That's just something that I kind of came up with on a whim, but to help with their practice of channeling.
Yeah, some people
don't use anything, or some people will use ceremonial. What is it? Ceremonial.
Like fasting. They'll do fasting or
fasting, meditation. Peyote, passing or peyote, or both. I'm just kidding.
There's different things. I'm not saying together. I don't know if I'd even try peyote with fasting. That might be really scary. Although I'm scared of peyote
I think
anyway.
where people get lost with psychedelics, it's like a lot of people think that that's what they need in order to gain some sort of insight or enlightenment, Like those things can be used as tools, but like that's why I don't do like psychedelics. I've done psychedelics. I don't do them now because I tried a couple of times, like don't get me wrong, I could micro dose and be okay. I wouldn't reach enlightenment, but I might laugh a little bit of like some, mushrooms in a legal setting in a state where it's legalized or whatever. But any more than that, I'm not going to gain anything because all it takes is one time where you're like, oh, okay, that's the lesson, and then you move on. Like I feel like that's just personally how like my perspective on that. But so like when he's saying LSD art, yeah, from one perspective, yeah, it could be totally, and I bet it would look really cool in a black light too, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get that.
Those colors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I was just gonna. I totally had I had another one there about art and just like how everybody has their own visual perception of it. You know what I mean? It hits everybody different. Like, especially when it like people are in a different mode or mood, you know what I mean? So it's like to everyone their own, right? And some people, like, that's why we go and pay to see some of these real, different paintings and whatnot and stuff, right? And but yeah, no, I get it. Totally get it. Oh, I'll be right back. My phone's dying.
All right. Plug it in. Welcome, Jani. I'm so excited to see you. I was sad. I was like, oh, man, because when Travis was on, there was this whole
Jani
convo going
darling.
on. Yes, she's so gorgeous. She just had a birthday, and she's many years younger now.
Happy birthday to me. I'm so tired. I've been working all night. Started at 6 o'clock last night and just finished today. So I'm going to go to sleep soon. I just got home. I ran out of products. So I thought I better stop. Yeah. So I've just been to Bunnings, which is like our local warehouse for tools and stuff and products and gardening and whatever. So I've just been and stocked up, and I had to come home and wash my cloths, and you should see this place is massive. And I'm flying to Australia on Thursday, so I have to have this entire thing done by then. And I'll send you a photo once we're done of the size of this place, and you'll understand my job.
Yeah. I heard you talking, or saw you. I said heard, but I think I saw you talking about it the other day, like how many bathrooms and everything is in there. It's like, holy shnikes. Or maybe that was something else, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw you talking about the immense size of this place.
Well, they've narrowed it down again. So what I had 5 days to do, I now have 3 days to do. And I have, I think the other one was, no, it's pretty much the same gig, just running back through again. But this is more of a heavier clean because the last clean we didn't do the windows, but now I've got to do the windows because it's like the final, and it's just heavy. It's really heavy. I had 2 girls on that day, or they came on for a day or 2 days. And right now I've got 0 because one I sacked and the other one I is busy doing another job. So yeah, anywho, I'm loving the conversations. Like, there's some really good stuff. Looks like the topics are awesome.
Well, I'm just glad to see you. Like, have you had any sightings or experiences in this place you're cleaning, or are you just too busy to notice? Or
bit of both.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the girls that works for me, she even piped up and she said she feels really awkward in one of the units, and I was like, yeah, it's the same one. I get to the top of the stairs and it's almost like you just get that feeling like as you're walking down the first couple of steps, something's going to push you, and you just, yeah. Or you can be in one of the rooms and you'll just feel something like flash at the side of your eyes, and she's been seeing it too. So at first, when I first started going there, I actually left the building because I was there by myself and it was in the middle of the night, and I thought, no, I'm not. I'm too exhausted to have to deal with that. Like not playing. I'm just going to go home, get some sleep. It's probably my brain playing tricks, but it's
Right.
not. No, you just know. But there's a lot of building going on in the area, and it's actually very close to the old. I think it's like a memorial barracks. I'd have to research a bit more into it, but yeah, there was a lot of death that happened up on the hill, which is probably about a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute drive. But you kind of know that they would have, expanded that far out. And I just don't know if with all the building that's going on that they've stirred up something, or, who knows. So.
And that's been known to happen, like when people are doing reconstructive surgery or whatever of their houses, the remodeling or whatnot, that'll kick things up. Even getting rid of things that were left there or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I have considered that quite often, actually, and I thought, well, it's kind of the only justification that would resonate with what is happening there. But it's nothing major. There's nothing to get too excited about. I wouldn't call in a paranormal team to come play.
Right.
So yeah, I'm supposed to be going to Cairns in about a month, actually, as well. So
Nice.
like 4 trips. Sorry, 4 trips between now and the mid-November to Australia. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Just don't get in the ocean or the ponds.
Why?
Or the river.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
in
telling
Cairns.
you, like
Crocodiles.
great whites and crocodiles. Yeah.
Oh, you just got to know where to go. That's
Just
gotta
like
know where to go.
in Arkansas, we used to take big boulders and throw at least like 3 to 5 in there to get rid of cottonmouths and other things that would be in there. And yeah, then we go swimming.
No,
You gotta
I
clear
absolutely. Some of my most favorite swimming holes that I just, some of those most memorable places have been up in Cairns. Like Babinda Boulders is one of my favorites. There's like a huge story about a Aboriginal lady who ran off with her husband. Yeah, between 2 tribes, and then they came and ripped them apart, and then she went back to the river where they'd eloped to, and is constantly killing people, which they classify as the lost souls. If anybody's there swimming, she takes them.
So far. It's always tourists.
Where it goes like through and it looks like pretty calm and everything, but they have signs and fences now where don't get in here, don't do this, don't do that, because it goes down and under the rocks and stuff, and it'll suck you under because of the current.
Yeah.
It had to be sucked under.
Otherwise, it looks delightful and like, wow, I'd really like to refresh in there, and then all of a sudden you did.
Well, this is part of the legend of the area. But I mean, even
a little bit further down is Josephine Falls, and there's an elemental in there as well.
Yeah. Well, I've actually even in Babinda Boulders, my daughter and I were sitting over the, at the end of the boardwalk, and you climb over the fence and you go, and there's a bit of a plateau where the rocks form and the river. So we were kind of just, me and my eldest, she was like 15, hates spiritual stuff, absolutely, just doesn't want to know anything about it. We're sitting there dipping our feet and kicking the water and, just having a little chat. And then she goes, Mum, what's that? And I'm like, what's that? Because you never want to talk about it. And I said, I think we should probably get up and go. And she's just like, yep. She could feel it. She could feel it coming upstream, and I could feel it. It was creepy as, but that was her, and that was So definitely she's definitely there. Definitely has that whole eeriness to it.
Yeah.
Definitely holds old, very because you're in an ancient rainforest as well, like one of the oldest rainforests there. So it's a beautiful place. It's one of my favorites. And the water, when you swim in that little stream, because there is a section there that you can swim, you pick up the sand, and as it falls through your fingers, it glitters silver. It's the
There
most
are some that are gold, because
We have that here with gold.
I picked up some and brought some with me back. So I know I shouldn't have. But
Yeah, and everybody's
yeah,
like,
some
trying to gather the gold speckles,
Hey,
but it's really
if
like
you
gold,
ask.
not real gold. But is it really? Like, who knows? Like, till you
well,
scan it.
Gordonvale, the a couple of towns up, that's where they actually were mining for gold, and that connects to that river or that stream.
Yeah, so it's I can't remember the name. It starts with a T, and it's not titanium, but it starts with a T, and it's just like a mineral, and it comes out kind of like slate, like little shards of like broken up. If you could crumble up slate rock, it comes out kind of similar to that. And I can't remember the actual name, but yeah, that's basically what shimmers silver. So it's mixed up in all of the sand, and then that is part of the mineral. So when you're going through the layers of geology that gets to gold, you got quartz in there, you'll have your iron ore in there, and then you'll have this other stuff. It starts with a T. It's just evaded my mind. But yeah, and that's basically what the stream is. It's just all of so pretty. I can't wait. We're going up for I'm flying over because it's my girlfriend's booked camper van, and she brought these tickets for a 4-day music festival, but it's like a real hippie kind of music festival. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
And then we're going to go touring for the other 4 days. Because I've already been there, I sort of know all the spots to go. So we're all just super excited, really excited. And then that's another trip. And then I go back for my daughter's birth, the birth of my grandson. And then I fly back again for Robbie Williams concert. So in November, lots of flying, busy time. It's like smashing work I'm home for 2 weeks, I'm gone for a week. I'm home for 2 weeks, I'm gone for a week. Yeah. Very active, very, very active. So get back into I was loving those conversations that you were talking about.
There's all kinds of stuff popping up in the world, and it's like, is this reality? Is this just them being like, okay, pay attention to this instead of this? Like, I don't know. It's super weird. Like right now, they have, the Supreme Court and everything, listening to all these witnesses we've heard time and time again, whether it's History Channel or YouTube or wherever else, we've heard them saying the same things about these different UFO sightings, etc., etc. What about the millions of sightings? Maybe people don't report them. Maybe it's just the thousands of sightings that people have reported. What about those? How about those witnesses? But I think they, like Travis was saying, they just want to get it on record, at the governmental level in order to move forward with this. Like they don't know what's going on. Wasn't it President Truman that signed the treaty with the aliens that they could abduct so many people per year and be okay without starting a war with them? Which, what would we even do anyways? We're kind of, I don't know, we're kind of at a state where we can't really defend ourselves against them. Maybe there's some different weapons that the government has created, but as far as us being humans and having just guns with bullets towards UFOs, that doesn't work. I don't know about aliens, if those are protected, but I don't know. It's just a crazy time. But like I was saying earlier, I don't feel like I'm in danger. Like, I know there are dangerous aliens out there, but I think most of the ones that are roaming around, I don't get a bad feeling about. I listen to my gut, but I do know there's bad ones out there. I don't know what your guys' thought process is on that. Like, should we be wary? Should we be afraid? To me, I really don't think so. Like, I feel comfortable. I want my kids to feel comfortable and feel like everything's going to be okay. I do know shit's going to hit the fan. We've been talking since the beginning of time about the end of time, and my patriarchal blessing did say, like, I'd be here at the end of days. So I do believe that we're going into that phase finally. Even though we've been talking about it for centuries, I think we are going into it. We are in another phase of the end and a new beginning. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, I feel like I'm rambling and nonsensical value stuff.
No, I think that's pretty on point. I think that's it's kind of how I feel a little bit. Yeah. But then again, I've just been. That's why I wasn't on the show last month, is because I just was so flat out. And that's, other than my dreams and the messages that I've been getting through that, I've kind of been quite shut down. But overall, I do feel like things are starting to come to a head. They are going to come to a head.
So you were talking about your dreams. Like, for me, I thought it was because I was on antibiotics. My dreams were so real and vivid and quite typically strange. And I was like, oh, it's just the antibiotics. But then since I've been off the antibiotics, I'm still having these real-time dreams, is what it seems like. And like you're saying, it's really tiring. It really takes a lot of your energy and stuff, because instead of resting, you're still focused throughout that time. I don't know if I'm making any sense with that, but that's how I felt. Like, they're so realistic. It's like you're trying to rest, but you're not, because you're still tending to stuff in the dream realm.
Yeah.
Work.
No, I get that. I actually had a couple of messages with Travis regarding them, because it was just just so many things just muck around in my mind, and I just don't know. I don't know. I've just never followed, aliens or anything like that. So, to be dreaming about being in places and seeing things, and I know that there's a lot of people out there who are experiencing what I am, and it's just gaining that insight, gaining that insight to what's going on.
Even though you're sleeping, you're still doing like an upgrade. You're still learning different things or lessons or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it's very
Or
tiring.
traveling. That's why they call
Yeah,
it
it's like,
astral travel.
just
I've been to some really
yeah.
cool places lately, like on the physical realm, like travel. Like I went to Canada the other day.
That's
I've never been to
Oh,
Canada, and I just had this dream that I'm hanging out with a bunch of Canadians and I'm in Canada, and then the next day I'm like behind a car with a Canadian license plate, and then like talking about Canada with people the very next day. But nothing surprises me anymore. And I'm like, okay, so I went to Canada. These people could have been anyone, people that I'm actually going to meet in my real life, which happens all the time, that I meet people in my dreams and
Mhm.
then I meet them in real life. But then like a couple weeks prior to that, or like, this was only, gosh, this is only a few days. This is like 3 days ago. And but then like a week or so ago, I had a dream about this tropical place and it was awesome. Like I had my own little bungalow and I was getting a massage, and I don't know where it was, but it was awesome, like Bora Bora or something. Um, but I'm digging my like earthly dreams right now. I haven't had any like weird ones in a while, which is good. Probably because I'm working so hard in real life that I'm not, that when I sleep, like it, like I even tell myself, I'm like, I better get like severe rest. Like, because my days are so much right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you were saying about like the aliens and stuff. Okay, so I wanted to answer your question um, before I forget. So like I've had a couple of encounters with interdimensional beings that were not scary, and I've had a couple where they were scary. But the scary ones did not kill me, nor did they do any like physical harm on this realm. other than the weird like 3 dot thing, which I still haven't figured out, which on my ankle.
Triangle.
Yeah. But I didn't see them that time. Like I felt them and then I woke up and then like the pain immediately went away and it was like a brand. It was like the most pain, like a laser. It felt like a laser. Like if you've ever had like laser hair removal, it was like that, but like it was like held down and it was these weird like 3 triangle on my ankle. And I felt these weird vibes, woke up, went back to sleep and woke up to the pain of it. And then it vanished immediately. Like it was the weirdest thing. Like the pain woke me up and it vanished immediately. And it didn't swell up it didn't look or swell up like any type of an insect bite or anything else. And this wasn't here where there's scorpions. It was in Colorado. It was very strange. But then the times that I saw the interdimensional beings that were really, really scary, like closest to this realm, like not like I was either half asleep or even in the middle of the day on one occasion. None of them like actually hurt me, killed me, tried to do anything to my physical body. It's their energy that was scary more than anything for me because it could have just been because it was so unfamiliar. Maybe they weren't even evil. I'm not sure, but like
Like it was a
or
higher
maybe
frequency or something and it made you
it was
uncomfortable?
lower
Or
frequency. It was like the
oh,
lack of it was like what you would imagine a black hole, like trying to like it was like almost demonic feeling with one of them. The other one was just icky. The reptile creature was very icky, and but it was not like none of them hurt me, you know. And so it makes me feel like even if they are here, they've been here. They've probably been here longer than we've been here, honestly. And
seriously.
there's got to be some
100%.
treaties. There's got to be like a treaty before the dawn of time that's like, okay, we can't hurt them in a 3D reality out in the open unless like this or this or this happens, right? Like, or at all.
Well, wasn't
We be
that
able to harvest their energy or like collect their eggs when they're asleep and do like, whatever they want to do with us, but
genetic
they haven't.
things?
It's not like the movie Signs or another movie where they're like just hanging out like out in the open and they can abduct you in your sleep and erase your memory, but you're gonna survive it or you'll just disappear forever. But I don't think they're gonna come here and start a war with us or hurt us at this point because they've been here so long.
I think they would have done it already. It's like, what are you waiting
Totally.
for? Are we going to do this or not? And I think they're just like, we're here. You need to know, and I think, our government has been lying to us. And like you said, since the dawn of time, this has been happening. And then wasn't it President Truman that signed the most recent treaty with aliens? I was like, okay, so you could abduct a certain amount of us, but if you go over that, it's not okay. And this is in consignment for what? Some sort of technology. Now we have cell phones and internet and all this other stuff that Tesla used to talk about. Before even then, we could have had all this before then, but, we all want to make money off that. We can't be free. We can't have cures for cancer or anything like that. Like, to me, it's so tiring to think about all these things because cancer, internet, electricity, all these things that we're fighting, all this global warming and everything for, the answers are there. You stole the answers when Tesla died. There was how many different crates? Then there was only 7 to 9 left. You have all the information. You know what to do, but it's all about the almighty dollar. Does that really matter? Are you going to take that with you when you die? No, you can't. You can't take any of that with you. Like, we should be able to live peacefully using this free energy, this free internet, these free cell phones, everything that Tesla talked about before, we could have right now and not be having all this freaking pollution due to coal or whatever else you're using. Like water energy, that's different. But everything else, it takes even solar panels. You have to produce it. It takes so much to produce it. Why can't we just use these Tesla coils, these Tesla towers? To me, it's frustrating because we already have it. We've had it for years.
Certainly puts you in a perspective of where things have gone. Like, just the whole time you've been talking, I'm like, I wonder if Tesla was like in contact with aliens, or if he was
I believe
remote
he
viewing,
was.
or if he was like, like,
I
I
think
wonder
it
if
was
he was. Hey,
I think it was a lot of all that, like remote viewing, interaction with aliens, all of that. Because otherwise, where did he get all this information about the internet, cell phones, electricity? His light bulb was even better than, was it Edison's? His light bulb was better than Edison's, but Edison's would have made more money, so that's what they went with. Oh, we'll make more money off of that. So they chose Edison on top of Tesla. And Tesla, ended up being a hermit in this freaking tower somewhere and didn't deal with anybody because he had tried so many things and was shot down time after time after time again because the government or whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati, whoever else is running us, he just went into his hermit hole and didn't care anymore. And then when he died, so many crates were stolen and there was only like 7 to 9, I can't remember the exact number, but 7 to 9 left when there was like 80 something. How much information is out there that they could be using right now, but they refuse to because they got to make that almighty dollar? It's ridiculous. For the comfort on earth, which yours is short, our lives are short. But what about generations after us? Like, that's what we should really be thinking about, and they're not. They don't even seem to care about that.
what do they know that we don't?
Nothing. They're just selfish assholes. They just want to make the money instead of letting us have that free energy and everything else that Tesla did beforehand. Cell phones, internet, all this stuff he had pre-hand knowledge about. And then they're like in the late 1990s, early 2000s, hey, check this out. It's the internet. It's pretty cool. Tesla was talking about that when a very long time ago, and you're just now coming out with it. It's just like, how can we put this into practice to make money off of people? We got to do all these other things and do it this way. That way we can make money off of people. As with electricity, light bulbs. Do you know about that light bulb that's been burning for over 100 years? Light bulbs these days burn out really quick. Why? Because you make more money that way. It's ridiculous.
Let's
What?
destroy
I don't
everything
know.
by making everything out of plastic. And I mean, it's kind of ridiculous sometimes. Like I have been more conscious of that, especially recently, just like the amount of crap like that, like, and I mean, really, like there's gotta be a correlation with people's insanity and, like just grocery bags and stuff. Like, I don't know. There's just so much crap like everywhere. Like it's just like they just try to sell you more and more crap in smaller and less and more toxic packages. Like I'm ready to move to the woods, honestly. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna like just completely go off the grid.
I know. I was thinking about Alaska, but I'm kind of thinking about Antarctica at this point. I told Vern
I
the
don't
other
know.
day,
I might
I
I
think
might
we're going to
just
have to move
wander
to
up to an
Antarctica.
Amish community and just see if they'll accept me into their tribe. I'll walk on foot. I'll find one that's like, couple few miles from a town, and I'll just be like, "Hello, Amish. I come in peace. I'm an alien
I
from the
made you
outside
some
world."
butter.
Yeah.
You kind of know society's really bad when you've got to feel like you're resorting to the Amish. It's a better result.
That's so true.
It's gotta be really bad when you're at that
I'm
point.
small, but I'm sturdy. Take me.
Yeah, she's hard work, I gotta tell you.
I'm small, but I'm sturdy and I'm strong for my size. I don't know how to make clothes, but I can help with the livestock and the pigs and all
I'm happy to
that.
polish a deck.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Oh.
Does your buttermilk bring all the what is it?
All the boys to the yard.
All the Jehovah's to the, I don't know, wherever they go.
Oh, good Lord.
And in the words of Weird Al, they haven't even paid their
I'm not
totem
even
bill in 300
Catholic,
years.
and I'm making the sign of the cross. Ooh, E.T.
It's
Shane.
okay. I'm of Catholic descent, but my most recent ancestors went against the church, but I still have that Catholic guilt. It's
Good for them.
literally hereditary. No, it is. Like, it's so weird. Like, it's weird. We don't think about how hereditary. I've been thinking about that, like how our, like not just like but our like our emotion. Like, I don't know if it's genes or just like, that our DNA like absorbs. I didn't think about this, like, and I thought it was kind of BS for a while with the spiritual community talking about like what is it called? Like inherited trauma from like families and stuff. But
Like
then there's like a
curses
science.
and everything.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go far to say it as a curse. I think
Well,
it's
it's
more like a
curses, religion, abuse, so many different things are
trauma.
generational. Yeah.
Exactly. And I didn't think of, I mean, like, I always was open to the possibility, but I think I've been more aware of it now. And because that's kind of why I got into flying too, because I'm like, okay, there's so many pilots, like, well, why don't I just try this and see if like it's something that I like? Because I'm either gonna like it or like, it's gonna stress me out, right? And it's like, I'm not great. I'm still but a fledgling, but I'm like, this feels like very, very
I'm super
natural,
proud
kind
of
of
you.
comfortable for me. Well, that's what I kind of did it as an experiment, and also just as something that I kind of wanted to cross off my bucket list. But now I'm like, oh crap, now I'm committed, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know. But like it's weird. I think like not only like the traumas, but I heard like scientifically that fetishes can be passed down from generations too. And now that's a mental mind fuck. Like, I don't know. It's a real thing. Like, I don't know how it
It
works, but
is.
it is. I don't know what, like where that came from, but like imagine how many people of like, English and French descent and all the torture that they did. And I'm like, I wonder if all the people that are into like, and then like bondage and stuff, like what, like,
Yeah.
what their ancestors were, they like undertakers or something, or like what, like I don't know. It's interesting.
It's the discovery of the Red Room in the will.
Fun.
All those symbols that grandpa used to use. Mhm.
I mean, I
Wow.
actually get that, Mia. Like they could have been, they could have been like farmers and slaughterhouse people, and do you know what I mean? And then obviously we don't do that the way that they used to farm back then. It's not like people are running around chopping chickens' heads off and cutting, slaughtering and skinning buffalo like they used to. You know what I mean? Like it's totally different now with industrialism. But like
We still
people,
hunt and harvest our moose and wild game out here. It's
Yeah,
still like that.
there are a lot of people that do it, but I mean, I guess the people from, when I go city, there's a lot of people who don't live like they used to. So, congregating into cities, and for us, it's just there's a shopping center and you just go and get all your food from there. It's not like it used to be, a few generations ago. And so when you're looking at it from that perspective, maybe somebody who was still has that genetics within them, what is it used for these days? Like where do they put that mindset? So with what Mia was saying, I can actually kind of see that people would probably turn that into some kind of like weird thing, like
A
I don't know.
fetish.
Yeah.
Like Vikings, like they used to like sail, so do they like paddles, like like I don't
Oh,
know.
did you hear that? So the Grand Canyon, Okay, so Johnny's going to come visit the Grand Canyon sometime soon. Hopefully, I'm there for that. But they've blocked off part of it. And this all started back in 1906. It wasn't documented by the Smithsonian until 1909. But they found these caves, and these caves went back pretty far, and they were very intricate, very intricately designed. And there's also statues in there. And then there's row after row after row of sarcophagi. And come to find out, they used to think it was Tibetan, but now they're saying, because of these historian or historical people and paleontologists and people like that have gone in there, it's actually Egyptian. So the Egyptians came across the sea a long, long freaking time ago, and maybe that thing they're saying is a pyramid is actually a pyramid. But there's also underground cave dwellings, cave cities. It's pretty intense, but people can't raft down there anymore. It's blocked off because they're studying it right now. And Smithsonian let it out in 1909. Then they covered it up. Now it's back out again. That's freaking amazing. What humans can do and how far they can go. And man, even the relics from the Egyptians are not only down in the Arizona area, they're all the way up in Ohio and different places like that. So these people traveled, and they went and explored.
Okay,
Can
so
you picture
on that,
that crop looks like it would make a good sailboat? I'm going to turn it into one. Good one, Robert. Go ahead, Johnny. Sorry.
well, I was just thinking, like, on that note, has anyone like disproven that when you go down to some of these undergrounds, like I know in Egypt they found a tomb that held kangaroos and basically stating that somebody from Australia had been there, or there was travel between there. And so, I kind of, my first thought of that was like, I wonder if there's like a portal that actually teleports people to and from. And that's just to state that that's.
Because, like you're saying, there was kangaroos, but there was also
Road
that
trip.
one princess
Just kidding.
that was buried not only with a ton of cats, but there was a little lion that was buried and wrapped up with her. And lions didn't come from that area either. But I think it's travel. Robert, what are you laughing at? They didn't have lions in that area. It was brought in from somewhere else. Is there a portal? Was it sea
Obviously,
travel?
they like their pussies.
Right.
But I think with the whole Australian in Egypt area, they it could have been from when they were in Pangaea, because 40,000 years, even though it doesn't sound like it's enough for with all the plates having already been established or starting to move, they could have had someone from Australia do a quick sail or canoe or whatever over to that area, and because it wouldn't have been as far at that point in time, and they could have found the things that they brought with them, like if they had a didgeridoo or boomerangs or kangaroo skins and stuff like that. It wouldn't be that far out of the realm of possibility.
But I know with the Egyptians in the Grand Canyon, they're saying the Grand Canyon could have been created by, the tectonic plates pushing against each other and then, separating or whatnot. And that could have caused the Grand Canyon in the first place, and the river running through it made it even deeper. But yeah, there's definitely Egyptian stuff there. But that's pretty intriguing about the kangaroo stuff too. On that note, I hate to interrupt. We do have to go to our second music break. On this break, we have Miss McKaylin Hay from Ontario, Canada, with Gravity, Mirror, and Pins and Needles. Then we have Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California, with After Dark. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break. This one's a smidge shorter.
I'm so tired.
It's okay.
I feel you.
I look
You'll be
like I'm
tired, buddies.
dying.
That gives me an idea. Just kidding.
Smelled some of the devil's lettuce before I joined on this evening, and I'm wondering who was partaking in the devil's lettuce before the show.
Who
Tess,
was what?
was it
I had a
you?
couple hits.
I knew it.
I
I
had
knew
a
exactly when you did it.
hits.
I smelled it. I smelled it from here, girl. I knew it.
Hey, I grew my own, okay?
I love it. I'm all for it. I
You
wish
guys
I
back in
could. I can't right now. I can't right now, but I
because
will.
land
I will be.
things.
Well, yeah. I have to be very very clear. But I will be partaking after all this for sure. But I
I
smelled
shall
it, and
bear
I was
upon
like,
you a gift.
in my place,
That
and
was me, girl.
there's no flower in my house, and there's no one near here that could eat. It's virtually impossible. And I smelled it clear as day, and I was like, who's smoking weed? Like I'm like, wait, there's no one here. There's no possibility of that being an occurrence. And I smelled it, and I kind of giggled, and I'm like, someone's doing it right now. And I'm gonna say good for them.
So
You
my
got me.
laundry is flooded.
I'll enjoy it vicariously.
Yes, I will share with you.
Share
My
with
washing
me.
machine starts making weird noises, and I look over, and my entire floor is flooded.
Not what you want when you're tired.
Oh no, Johnny, that's the last thing you need.
Yeah, look. My sink got clogged up by a towel, and all the shit's wet everywhere.
Oh no. But it's just because the towel plugged it up, right? At least it'll stop, right?
It's just overflowed everywhere. So last week and this week, I've been helping my brother with his jobs, as well as my own, as well as packing him up, as well as packing my house up and moving and painting. So I'll show you what was that? What did it say? So like painting all the rooms. Then we're transporting everything. This one's been painted, so we're just putting shit everywhere. Fucking chaos. I'll show you my front yard.
You don't want to see mine. It's like a jungle out there.
Yeah, look. So this is what.
There's tons of locusts. It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
Hit the water hard, moving too fast, spiraling out of control. Was touch and go, went a little far. You taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep your shoulder cold. No one walked away.
I'll be back,
without a
guys.
scar.
I'm gonna have to go and deal with this problem. I'll come back soon.
Eyes out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. Try to left upon my chest. I'll attest, I don't really wanna forget you taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep your shoulder cold. No one walked away without a scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is out of reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. You taught me how to turn a blind eye. I showed you how to keep a shoulder cold. No one walked away without a scar. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is under reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. I've been digging through the pieces. Your heart is under reach, but objects may seem nearer through this rippled mirror. Talking on pins and needles, every word through a microscope. You keep stomping down on the ground while I've been stuck on this tightrope. I just wanna say what I wanna say without your sentence. I'm not willing to do the time when I'm innocent, and I'm innocent. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. Walked on my share of thin ice with your blowtorch at my feet. You won't ever see me beg, so take this tongue off your leash. I'm gonna say what I wanna say, don't need permission. Interpret it how you want, it's my decision. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. Dancing on shattered glass, kicking the pieces all around. My safety has been broken, this is now a hunting ground. Talking on pins and needles. Talking on pins and needles. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, hang it up, hang it up. And I'm done, and I'm done, and I'm done. I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna hang it up, I'm gonna hang it up.
I want to be. I said, I want to go. Take me to a college scene. I'd like to go and dance, have drinks, and hunt the perfect date. Yeah. Living at the door. I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say, after dark, I gave her face because she had the range. I knew she was the one that never could go home again. Plastic life and limo seats. I don't know why I can't control this urge to hurt again. Yeah. Living at the door, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Jesus is the murder forever after. No matter what I say, after dark. Ran to the arguments and fear. In hiding place with days of December. Burning works were pushed in the madness. It doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. No matter what I say, after dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say, it's in the sky. Murder forever after. It doesn't matter what I say. Food and fatal, black in the head of conscience. No matter what I say, after dark.
Oh, snap. Not that song. Not yet. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we've been talking about everything within our realm or other realms. Supposedly, there's like 10 realms stacked on top of each other, so things are kind of confusing. But welcome back. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hello, Adrian. Welcome. And welcome back, Robert and Miss Mia. We've lost Travis. Hopefully he comes back soon. I know his phone died. And Mia. Yay, I'm so glad you guys are here. Hello, are you there? Can you hear me? Hello?
Or are we?
Or aren't we? Oh no, I used to think I was from the Cherokee tribe, then I discovered I wasn't at all. My aunt lied to us. Lies! All lies! But I'm pretty sure I'm from the Fakawi tribe, as far as where the Fakawi. We're somewhere in this crazy universe, omniverse, multiverse. It's pretty intriguing. Pretty interesting. Oh, yes. Adrian was telling me about a missing persons case. Maybe he'll call in. Let me see if I can share that link really quick. But yeah. Let me try to do that. Robert, if you have anything else to share, feel free to do so for sure. Trying to multitask, but it's really hot in here. I'm trying. Don't judge me. Oh, you're back. I just saw you like doing the swirly. I'm like, ah.
Welcome to the final hour.
Yes, where all shit hits the fan. Oh shit! All right, I'm trying to add everybody. Is it
I think
working?
you
Is it?
booted everyone.
No, my internet went out, which nobody's here. So thank you, CenturyLink. If anybody's interested in using CenturyLink, don't.
I
If
just
I
had to
was rich
rewatch.
enough, I'd just get. You had
If you're
what?
rich enough, what?
There we go.
I would get Starlink because it flies right down my driveway. I've seen it. I'm like, what the hell is that? It looked like a space train, and I'm like, oh, it's Starlink. But CenturyLink, yeah, it's crappy. It's in and out. It's all over the place. It's not fun. Travis said his phone is charging. He'll be right back. But yes, at least we have 4. And don't worry about your birds, Robert. We all love birds.
I was just going to say that. That's why I had to get up and feed them to try and shut them up because they're
like,
babies out there making the noise.
I can hear them. They're kind of fighting over the food.
Yeah.
Like, that's mine. Give it to me. Yep.
Well, the fig eaters like to come in and take what I put out there as well. So they're fighting with the rainbow lorikeets, and the rainbow lorikeets fighting with the pigeons. So it's a free for all.
Yeah, the kids were super amazed because one weekend when we missed church, I think it's because the alarm didn't go off or something. I had the phone on silent, so the alarm didn't go off. And I felt really bad. And so instead, we made bird feeders. So we made bird feeders, put those out, and the kids were just amazed at how many different birds were eating together. I'm like, well, they're kind of, all birds, so they're kind of the same flock, but at the same time, sometimes they fight, but they get along. It just depends on what's going on and how bad it is out there. But yes, I did freeze, Adrian. But that's what I was saying, like right when I was getting cut off. So maybe something doesn't want me to say something. But Adrian got a hold of me this last week and he was talking about.
Has she froze again?
Looks that way.
I'm like,
So,
talking
yeah,
about
it
is she
doesn't want to
thinking
be
about
talked
it?
about.
That's a really long thought process.
Totally.
Tessa, you can blink now.
She stared into Medusa's eyes.
This is what happens before you're abducted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, there we go again. She again kicked out.
Is Mia there? Because Mia should be getting the same.
I don't know.
Mia, can you hear us?
Mia, are you there?
Maybe she's blocked out as well.
Could be. She hasn't returned from the break, I don't think.
From the break.
Mm.
Well, I had to rewash all of my stuff because
Yep, I can imagine
obviously
that.
the sink
Wet.
floated and then it all backlogged back into the machine.
Oh, lovely.
So I went to take it out and then I was like,
Oh,
hey, what's this black stuff at the bottom?
Yeah.
Well, at least the pipes are clean now.
No, I'd imagine so.
Which is really bad because I hope that it cleans off on this load. Cannot take
No, it
dirty
should.
clothes to work.
It should.
So how have you been?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing a bit more studies, like getting more of the books that have all the ghost sort of stories in them. 14 Times, New Dawn. There was an actual history of ghosts that I picked up from the newsagents just recently. I haven't started reading that one yet, but it should be good. I've been following the ghost grannies. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They look like they're having the fat time, aren't they?
They must be.
And a lot of the photos that they're putting up, I'm like, my gosh, it's just like New Zealand.
I know. A lot of the like the German churches and Czechoslovakian churches. That's a lot of the same sort of architecture that they have over there in New Zealand. Except for Frankenstein's castle.
No, I think it's really weird over here because even today, I drove past which is just around the corner, and I've never noticed it before, but it was Christ Adalesian or something.
Mm-hmm.
Never even heard of it. What is that?
Rolling in the deep.
But it was all one word, Christ Adalesian.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Mia, you back?
Yes, I don't know what my headphones quit working, and then I spilt something all over the kitchen floor, and we lost Tess.
Yeah, we did again.
And I'm out of breath, and yeah. Are we still on air?
We are.
We are.
Right up in the corner. 2 hours, 29 minutes, 27 seconds, 28, 29.
I feel like a lost little sheep without our host. Hostess.
Without the shepherd. Mm.
Yeah.
What did you spilled something on your floor?
Yeah, well, my stupid butt, I tried to grab some ice, and the ice maker in the casita, I don't know, it's like it's like a mini freezer. It's not mini, but it's like narrow. So I took out the thing that makes the ice, so I have a little ice thing, and then I pulled it out to get ice, and I forgot it was filled with water, and it just whoosh, like a ton of water. I mean, it was just water, but it was like everywhere. So I had to clean it up. Because I'm vertically challenged, so I couldn't see, and I didn't remember filling the tray. I thought it was full, and it just like all over the place.
Full, just of water, not ice.
Yeah, but it was a lot. So it was like that little mini storm in Tucson, just like whoosh, we're all in one area. So and then I fed my iguana a little bit of banana. I got her to eat banana out of my hand twice, but she wouldn't do today. She's been very very temperamental
Moody.
since the AC went out, and I haven't taken her out enough. I like to take her out when I go to the pool, but we've had guests in the house, like Airbnb paying clients in the house, so I can't use the pool, and nobody wants to go outside in this heat anyway. So she's been mad because I haven't taken her out in like a week and a half, And so, I mean, she's violent. Like, I've had her over a year. When you try to take her out, when she's out, she's good. But when you try to get her, even when I feed her, sometimes she'll just tail whip me just for feeding her. And I'm like, don't bite the hand that feeds.
Yeah.
Don't tail whip the hand that feeds. She's cranky. Godzilla.
That's funny.
Miniature. I don't think she's gonna get as big as I think it's a female. And they get quite a bit smaller. She hasn't grown much. She might just have like MBD or something, but she's not growing as much as anticipated. I wanted to get her a new house by now. I still want to, but she has to earn those privileges by being a little bit nicer before I get her more of a palace than she already has. Because I feel like if I put her in a bigger one, she might get worse, because then it will be really hard to catch her and tame her. I think it's a her for sure. I get that vibe.
Well, if eggs turn up in the thing, you'll know it's a girl.
Yeah, definitely. But they're like the males. They do like the head bobbing thing. They have like different characteristics.
Yeah.
And I have noticed she likes to go down to the bottom of the terrarium quite a bit and dig like that, and that's what they do when they lay eggs. And I don't think it's because I don't think she's egg bound. I think she just she's getting into the frequency of the eggs. Like she likes a spot at the bottom, which is weird because they're tree dwellers. But she doesn't seem to have any of the physical or temperamental traits. The males usually are actually more calm than the females for the most part, except for during breeding season. Then they become borderline demonic.
Yeah, they get aggro.
Yeah, but they have to be old enough to breed. See, like they have to be like 2, and she's not there yet. But she seems to be more of the feminine qualities of, like, rather than 3 months out of the year, it's like every day she's cranky. So that's why I think it's a female. Just depends on the time of day.
That's a good bet then. Yeah.
Time of day, time of month, whatever. I think it's a female. But once she's fed and, like, once her needs are taken care of, she's fine. When she's out, that's how I think it's a female for sure too. Like the males, they're like, what's going on? What's going on? Unless there's like food or sex involved, then they don't get angry, But like females are like angry all the time until you like feed them or like, give them something to pacify them momentarily. Then they're not angry, but the rest of the time, pretty much. Could be wrong.
So do you feed them, what are they, the worm meals or mealworms or?
No, I have
No?
in the species in Latin is the iguana.
Okay.
Very, go figure. So that's the green iguana.
Right.
But she is blue, but they're herbivores only.
Okay.
Herbivores. So
Yep.
only primarily leafy greens, but as a treat,
cool.
Bananas and fruits and things. Yeah.
Watermelon, stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. All of the above.
Mm-hmm.
She eats way better than I do, I will tell you that.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like the axolotl that I had years and years ago.
You had an axolotl?
Yeah.
Axolotl? I can never say it. That's so cool.
Had to cut up liver for it and stick it down into the tank next to its mouth and wave it round till it ate it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those are so cool looking. Are they ever nice, or do they just look nice? They look
just
friendly.
Look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you stick something down in front of their face and they go, whoop.
I like the water dragons.
Yeah.
I just saw one.
There she comes, coming back.
to reboot. Like everything I tried wouldn't work, so I had to reboot. Thanks, Century Stink. Well, that's a California
just-
Don't
howdy.
bite the hand that feeds.
Yeah, we've just been entertaining the people if there are still people here watching.
We've been nerding out on reptiles and amphibians.
Well, I'm listening to you guys because my cell phone was still on the internet, but my computer was not. But it was funny to me every time I mentioned Adrian coming on, it would cut me off.
Yes, it just zaps you. Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
last time for
axolotls are
good. So
amphibians, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Just had to be sure.
They can
Oh,
raise
yeah,
themselves
my-
out of the water, but they prefer being in the water,
Yes. Okay. Like a newt
like frogs.
or frog.
newts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, Tess. She's in Antarctica. She's frozen. What do we do?
Tess, get a better system of getting online. Looks like she's about to sneeze.
So, Robert. So I
Yeah.
went to the like a butterfly exhibit, right?
Yep.
And I saw all of these beautiful butterflies, and I saw a moth from South America whose wings look like a snake.
Yeah.
Like they
I've
look like
seen
they had.
those.
You know the one I'm
Yep.
talking about?
Yep.
I think I forgot the name, but I thought it was so cool, and so I made that my profile picture earlier because that's what that was. I
Right.
thought you might find that interesting. What are they called? I will figure it out.
I can't remember.
It's the
Yes,
Atlas.
Adrian.
The
Yes,
Atlas
Adrian. She's
moth.
frozen in time. Atlas moth. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Then there's the Ulysses butterfly, which is found mainly near Cairns, where Jani's going. They're like that.
Really?
They're iridescent blue on the wings. And then there's another one that the body of the
That's the blue morpho.
butterfly. The body of it is a body of one of these is a green with green wings, but I don't think that one's one of the Ulysses. It's another species, but we saw that down up in Cairns as well. Actually, in the area just near where she was talking about, near the boulders, near the Binder, because we had a place we were renting up there in Belladon Kerr, and the place that we had up there had a whole heap of different fruit trees on it. So they were coming for the fruit. And yeah, it was I got some good photos of that one, but the Ulysses were terribly difficult to get photos of. As soon as you got one lined up, they take off.
Oh wow. Yeah, they didn't have any of those. I'm looking at the have a little paper that has all the species that they had, and they didn't they have a lot of like Asian ones from Asia and like tropical South America, Central America species, but I bet there's some really amazing ones there.
Yeah, there are a few. And then there's the different types of spiders. I don't know if people are afraid of spiders, but there's one type of spider that I got photos of while I was in well, it wasn't in Cairns, but they're in that area as well, but a bit further down. It actually has a skull on its back, like on the body, not the abdomen part where they put the silk out for the webs, but on the head and the back of it itself. It looks like a skull.
I think I've seen it on a nature show of some kind, this one. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not afraid. Spiders, I've always been kind of fascinated with spiders. I'm not saying like black widows, they do freak me out. I don't really want to see one, but I've been kind of weird with spiders because I know that they eat, I get eaten up by mosquitoes and other bugs. So they're friends to me.
Okay, let's time it how long she'll last this time.
Let me not say the AD name.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Isn't it weird every time I mention
It
him
is.
in this case it kicks me out?
Uh-huh.
It
Maybe
didn't
you can
happen
type it.
before, and then as soon as I mentioned it, yeah, so I'm
I
wondering, is
know.
it some sort of dark magic or something going on here?
Mm, maybe.
Holy
You
shnikes.
have to just
It's
say
kind of
how much
freaking me
you
out.
love. You said century, and then you said something else. Maybe you should say century is the
Century
best.
Stink. Yes,
No,
Century
century
Stink is
is
the
the
best.
best.
Yes,
There,
Century
the best.
Stink is the best. I can't say
As
it with
she
a
shows her
straight
face.
face. Okay, so let's go back to my friend AD. I'm not going to say the full name because people doing their certain whatever they're doing that keeps kicking me off is not working.
Maybe you should
So
say it like
he
Rocky Balboa.
has
Adrian!
Beetlejuice,
Adrian!
Beetlejuice.
Yes. So this guy disappeared and then texted all of a sudden, said, guess what? I'm going to go to a funeral, blah, 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 and then was never heard from again. And this was by text. Generally, he would call by phone. Didn't. Then he went missing. This was right after New Year's. I have to look up when the heck that was. My friend here, AD, I'm not going to mention the name again because I don't want to get cut off again. But yeah, so this guy went missing. They searched everywhere, even the rivers, everywhere in the Navajo Nation, I believe. And the only thing that was found was a hand. A hand. And my first question was it rough cut? Was it smooth? It seemed like it was not mechanically, but
Oh
Mysteriously
no.
don't want to talking about it, do they?
Hmm. I've been more aware.
Yeah.
Not because I've been informed. I will say this.
Mm,
This is downloaded information from the universe. I'm
right.
going to be very clear when I say that. About the amount of, and this is make me sound like a paranoid schizo, but the amount of I don't want to say surveillance because they're not, I mean, they're not watching me
Security cameras.
specifically. I just,
Mm,
but just the amount of protection that we
mhm,
have, and the amount of drones and things and
mhm.
devices, and potentially birds, not sure,
Mhm.
but that there are around
Yeah.
us. And that's not even including our devices. That's a whole
Yeah.
nother. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be quite possible with an open case that certain agencies
Yeah.
might not want to go there.
Exactly.
Right? Can I say that? See, they haven't cut me off yet because they're like,
No.
yeah, no, you're
Yep.
right. Just don't call us out here. We're not gonna.
Well, they could probably even get in and make the geckos and other little reptiles that go running around inside houses. I don't know how often they do them over there, but geckos are prevalent here. They'll go up
Everywhere.
into
Well,
the
I mean, not everywhere, but
behind the
here,
curtains,
most
behind
places.
photos, behind pictures on the wall, and you'll hear them click, 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 clicking at night and
Yeah.
outside as well. So you never know if they could be surveillance of some kind as well.
I found a spider in my house, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't any type of surveillance. But as you were talking about spiders, I think it was a wolf spider,
Right.
or
Yep.
possibly a baby tarantula or a young tarantula.
Mhm.
But You know, the ones really long furry legs. I like those. I
Yeah.
had a pet tarantula, so my heart was like, no, you can stay, because I have a good rapport with spiders. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever been bit by one in my entire life, and I had a pet tarantula, so like spiders are my friends. I've had spiders that were in my house that were literally my pets that were free.
Yep.
I had
Mhm.
like the tiny little water spider. I had like daddy long legs, ones that
Mhm.
can't really hurt you, where I
Yeah.
literally gave them water. I had one that would come out every day in my kitchen, and I had a place, I mean, very tiny, but I would give him little sugar water, and he would come out for his little sugar water. And like, cause they're not gonna hurt you. And if anything, most spiders eat what does hurt me is the mosquitoes. I think I'm a little bit allergic, and so I get huge welts, and they love me. It's not even that I eat a lot of sugar. I think it has to do with my iron levels or my blood type or something. They
Yes.
they they love, like, some people wherever I'm at, I'm always the one that gets just bit up, and you can really tell. And then it will literally scar because the welts are so big. I'm like, I would rather have spiders in my house that don't bother me,
Yeah.
that if I see them, it's an accident and they hide right away, that
Mhm.
eat any little bugs that bite me. Right? As long as they don't bother me, I don't bother them.
Yeah. Well, for the mosquitoes and other small flying bugs that come by, I've got this one of those
I love
electric
it.
ones. Whack, and they go zap. They're playing
How big
tennis.
are your mosquitoes there, though?
Only about that big. Some are
Okay.
bigger, but yeah, they'll come in swarms. So if you get one of these, you can just go thwack, 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 thwack.
Oh yeah, it's like Jumanji in
Pretty much.
Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, but speaking of spiders, there have been a few that we've had in here just recently, and they've been monsters. Like there's been a huntsman spider on the wall in the dining room, and then there was a slightly bigger one. I don't know whether it might have been the golden orb weaver or if it was just a giant huntsman, but that was in the cupboard that I took a photo of, and there are a few people that were freaking out over that.
Oh, I just looked them up. They're enormous. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably freak. I mean, I might freak out if I was seeing one for the first time visiting
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
I might even though I had a pet tarantula, it just might be a little bit, because
Yeah.
it's an unfamiliar one. Like, you don't know how.
Uh-huh.
Even tarantulas, though, like a lot of some tarantulas are not friendly and they can jump. Right. The tarantula that I had, they don't jump. Number one. Number
Right.
two, she
Mhm.
liked me. I had her for years, and she would crawl all over me. I knew she
Mhm.
wasn't gonna bite me. I know I know what her venom would never, like, she would never even try.
Yeah.
But some tarantulas or big spiders, they can
Mhm.
jump. And
Yeah.
can the huntsmen jump, or they just
Uh,
crawl mostly?
They're just crawl mainly. They're
Okay.
fast at crawling, but they don't jump that I know of. They don't make webs either. They catch their food with I think a hop, but they got to be close to it to be able to hop onto it.
Yeah.
So
Well, tarantulas are similar. They have like burrows with
yeah,
maybe like webbed burrows that they
yeah,
kind of live in. Yeah. I think
like
those big
the
hairy
trapdoor spiders.
spiders. Yeah.
Because down here we have the trapdoor spiders, and they've got a lid, and if something activates the I don't know how they do it. They either must be there watching from just under the lid, or have some sort of system that's set up so they know something's near the lid. But they'll just pop up and grab it and pull it back down really quick.
Yeah. And they don't have a venom that is bad to
It
people.
wouldn't. Oh yeah, they can if they get near a human, they'll bite, and I think they're. Let's look it up.
I don't know. Well, I think they're
But
probably like tarantulas, where like they won't like normally bite. Like tarantulas will give 3 warnings before they bite. They're not like, that's
yeah,
not their main goal.
yeah.
But I love how we're
Yeah.
nerding out on spiders. Tess, come back. I hope she's not did they get you? Because, like, it's just send it through the chat. I'll come pick you up.
Yeah, it
I'll
says
fly
this.
to you. No, not
Sydney
really.
brown trapdoor
That would be
spider
terrifying at this point.
is a spider in the family Idopidae, found primarily around Sydney, Australia. It is usually shy and retiring, and is often confused with the Sydney funnel web spider, which is one of the most venomous spiders in the world. So the trapdoor isn't venomous, but the funnel web is.
Okay, I'll look that up. So if and when I go,
Definitely.
more like a when. The funnel web looks nothing. I'm sorry, but it looks nothing like the other one. Like the funnel web is way darker.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much hair.
Yeah.
Definitely not something I would want to mess with. Here he is on a boot. Yeah, no, doesn't look like the other one. The other ones have the long legs. It kind of looks, the other ones, the huntsmans look a little bit like the one I saw last night, only it didn't have like a large body, just kind of the long legs. But that's about what the one I saw in the house looked like. And I just saw him and he saw me and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were still up, but the AC was out, and so I couldn't sleep." And I'm like, "It's okay, dude. Like, I didn't see you." And just walked away, and like I've never seen it. This is not a big place, the casita, and I've never seen him before, so I know he's my roommate, like, but I never see him, so it's okay.
You should get him to help pay the rent. Oh, now she's gone. Okay, so I'm here by myself now. All right. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be pretty much a wrap for the show. I don't know if Tessa has to do anything to upload it onto YouTube or all the other pods that she has. But yeah, if Mia's gone and all the others are gone, I guess I'm going to have to say bye-bye and have a good week or weekend. Weekend and week. All of the above. See you later.